You're 22 years old. You just walked across a stage, shook some hands, grabbed a piece of paper that cost you $200,000. Everyone's clapping, your parents are crying with pride, and you're thinking, I can't afford groceries. This is the story nobody tells you about college, until now. Let's go back to high school. You're 17, maybe 18. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is telling you the same thing. Your parents, you need a degree to succeed. Your teachers, college is the pathway to a good life. Your guidance counselor, the average college graduate earns $1 million more over their lifetime. Even your friends who don't know what they want to do are going to college because what else would you do? The statistics sound amazing. College graduates earn 67% more than high school graduates. They're less likely to be unemployed. They live longer, healthier lives. It's not even a debate. College equals success. That's the math. That's what the brochures say. That's what society has been telling you since you were 12 years old. So you apply. You get accepted. Your school costs $35,000 a year. That's $140,000 for 4 years. But you don't have $140,000. Neither do your parents. So you do what 45 million Americans have done. You take out student loans. The loan officer makes it sound simple. It's an investment in yourself. You'll pay it back easily once you have that degree. You sign the papers, you're going to college. Freshman year is everything they promised. You're learning, you're making friends, you're figuring out who you are. The debt doesn't feel real yet because you're not paying it. It's just numbers on a screen somewhere. You're living in the moment. This is the best 4 years of your life, right? That's what everyone says. By sophomore year, something shifts. You picked a major, let's say communications because you like writing, or psychology because you want to help people, or English because you love books. Nobody told you to research average salaries by major. Nobody explained that passion doesn't always equal paycheck. You're following your heart. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Junior year, the loans are adding up. $35,000 freshman year, another $35,000 sophomore year, now $35,000 more. You're at $105,000 and counting. But here's what they don't tell you. Interest is accumulating, even while you're in school. Your $105,000 in loans, it's already growing, like a credit card you never use but somehow keeps charging you fees. Senior year. Everyone's talking about jobs, career fairs, internships, LinkedIn profiles. You apply to 50 positions in your field. You get 3 interviews. One offers you a job, $42,000 a year. Before taxes, that's $3,500 a month. After taxes, rent, food, car, insurance, you're looking at maybe $1,200 of discretionary income. And your student loan payment, $1,500 a month for the next 10 years. Graduation day, you walk across that stage. Your parents are proud. You're proud. You worked hard. You earned this. Then you get home, check your email, and there it is, your first loan payment notice. 6 months until payments start. $1,500 for 120 months. That's 10 years. You're 22 years old, and you're already $200,000 in debt when you count the interest. Let me put this in perspective. Your rent is $1,200 a month. Your loan payment is $1,500. You're spending more on a piece of paper you got 4 years ago than you're on the roof over your head right now. You can't buy a house. Banks won't approve you with that debt-to-income ratio. You can't save for retirement. You can't even go out with friends without anxiety. Here's where it gets worse. You can't just get out of this debt. Declare bankruptcy. Student loans don't disappear. Ever. Not in bankruptcy, not if you're disabled, not if you're broke. You can discharge credit card debt, medical debt, even gambling debt in bankruptcy. But student loans, they're with you until you pay them off or you die, literally. And if you can't pay, they garnish your wages, they take your tax refunds, they destroy your credit score so you can't get an apartment, a car loan, sometimes even a job. You're 25 years old with a college degree and your financial life is already ruined. This isn't a worst-case scenario. This is normal. This is 45 million Americans right now. Let's talk about how we got here. In 1980, the average cost of college was $3,500 a year. Adjusted for inflation, that should be about $13,000 today.
Want to guess what it actually costs now? $35,000 per year on average. College costs have increased 1,200% since 1980. Healthcare costs, which everyone complains about, up 600%. Housing, up 400%. College, up 1,200%. Why? Here's the ugly truth. Unlimited government-backed student loans. In 1965, the government started guaranteeing student loans. The idea was good, help people afford college. But here's what happened. When students could borrow unlimited amounts, colleges could charge unlimited amounts. Basic economics. If someone will pay $50,000 for something that used to cost $10,000, why would you charge $10,000? Colleges started competing on amenities, not education. Lazy rivers, rock climbing walls, luxury dorms that look like hotels, gourmet dining halls with sushi bars. None of this improves your education, but it looks great on the campus tour. And since you're borrowing the money anyway, what's another $5,000 a year for premium housing? You won't feel it until you graduate. Meanwhile, states cut funding. In 1990, states covered about 75% of public college costs. Today, about 25%. Somebody has to make up that difference. Spoiler, it's you, through tuition, which you pay with loans. The system shifted the burden from taxpayers to students, and nobody asked if 18-year-olds should be taking on mortgage-sized debt for education. Here's what nobody told you in high school. There are other options. Community college for 2 years, then transfer to a 4-year school. Total cost is about $60,000 instead of $140,000. You get the exact same degree. The diploma doesn't say only attended for 2 years, but guidance counselors don't mention this. Why? Because it doesn't look as prestigious. Trade schools. Electricians make $60,000 to $90,000 a year. Plumbers are $55,000 to $85,000 a year. HVAC technicians are $50,000 to $75,000 a year. Training takes 18 months to 2 years and costs $15,000 to $30,000 total. You're working and earning at 20 instead of graduating with debt at 22. But we've been told for decades that trades are for people who couldn't do college. That's a lie. It's just different. Online degrees and certifications. Google offers career certificates in IT, data analysis, project management. 6 months, $300. Not $30,000, $300. Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, they're all creating their own certification programs because they don't care about your degree. They care if you can do the job. But high schools still push traditional 4-year colleges as the only real option. Working your way through college used to be possible. In 1980, a student working minimum wage full-time over summer could pay for a year of college. Today, that same student would need to work full-time year-round for 3 years to pay for 1 year of college. The math doesn't work anymore, but we still act like it does. Just work hard and pay your way through college. With what money? Let's talk about what this debt actually costs you. Not just money, life milestones. The average American with student debt delays buying a home by 7 years. 7 years of building equity gone. They delay getting married by 4 years. They delay having children by 5 years. Not because they don't want these things, because they literally cannot afford them while making loan payments. Retirement savings. If you're paying $1,500 a month on student loans from age 22 to 32, that's $180,000. But here's the real cost. If you'd invested that $1,500 in an index fund averaging 7% returns, by age 65, you'd have $2.3 million. Let me say that again. Your student loans don't cost you $180,000. They cost you $2.3 million in lost retirement wealth. Mental health. A 2021 study found that 1 in 15 student loan borrowers has considered suicide because of their debt. Not economic anxiety, not job stress, specifically student loan debt. Depression, anxiety, panic attacks, these aren't just symptoms of being broke. They're symptoms of being trapped in a system you can't escape from, that you entered when you were 18 and didn't fully understand. Career flexibility. Want to switch careers? Can't afford the pay cut. Want to start a business? Can't get financing with your debt-to-income ratio. Want to take a job you're passionate about but pays less? Not an option. Your student loans dictate your career choices for a decade or more. That freedom your degree was supposed to provide? It's the opposite. You're locked in. Myth number 1. College graduates earn $1 million more over their lifetime. Technically true, on average, but averages lie. That number includes doctors, lawyers, engineers, people with advanced degrees in high-paying fields. The median English major? They earn about the same as someone who went straight into a trade. The difference? The English major spent 4 years and $140,000 getting there. Myth number 2. You can't get a good job without a degree. Google, Apple, IBM, Tesla, none require degrees for many positions anymore. They require skills. Meanwhile, 43% of recent college graduates are underemployed, working jobs that don't require a degree. Baristas with bachelor's degrees,
Retail managers with master's degrees.
The degree didn't guarantee the job. Myth number 3. It's worth it for the experience and personal growth. Personal growth is valuable, but is it $200,000 valuable? You can read books, you can take online courses, you can travel, volunteer, join communities, all for a fraction of the cost. College has value beyond academics, but we need to be honest. Is 4 years of personal growth worth a decade of financial stress? Myth number 4. It's everyone needs college to succeed. Really? Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs guy, talks about this constantly. We need plumbers more than we need philosophy majors. Both are valuable, but society's made one shameful and one prestigious, regardless of actual need or earning potential. We've created an education system based on status, not value. If you're in high school right now, here's what you do. First, ask yourself if you need college for your specific career goal. Want to be a doctor? Yes, you need college. Want to be a writer? No, you don't. Want to be in tech? Probably not. Certifications and portfolio matter more. Start with the career, work backward to the education needed, not the other way around. Second, if you do need a degree, minimize the cost. Community college for 2 years. Live at home if possible. Apply for every scholarship, no matter how small. Work part-time. Take AP classes in high school for college credit. Your goal isn't the fanciest college. It's the degree with the least debt. The diploma looks the same. Your bank account won't. If you already have student debt, here's your action plan. 1. Understand your loans. Federal or private? What's the interest rate? What are your repayment options? Income-driven repayment plans can lower your monthly payment based on your salary. 2. Make extra payments when possible, applied directly to principal. Even $50 extra per month cuts years off your repayment and thousands in interest. 3. Increase your income. I know that sounds obvious, but it's the fastest way out. Side hustles, freelancing, negotiating raises. Every extra dollar toward principal changes the math in your favor. 4. Refinance if it makes sense. If you have good credit and steady income, private refinancing might lower your interest rate, but you lose federal protections, so research carefully. If you're a parent, teach your kids the truth, not the propaganda. Show them the real numbers, the real career outcomes by major, the real alternatives. Let them make informed decisions at 18, not discover the consequences at 28. This isn't about being anti-education. It's about being anti-unnecessary debt. This isn't just a personal finance issue. This is an economic crisis. $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. That's more than credit card debt, more than auto loan debt. 45 million Americans carrying this burden. That's 45 million people who aren't buying houses, starting businesses, having kids, and contributing to economic growth. One generation's education debt becomes the entire economy's problem. Other countries figured this out. Germany, free college for citizens. Denmark, students get paid to attend university. Finland, no tuition fees.
France, about $200 per year for public universities. These aren't fantasy lands. They're real countries that decided education was a public good, not a profit center. America decided differently, and we're paying the price. The student loan industry profits about $6 billion annually from interest and fees. Let that sink in. The industry makes $6 billion from teenagers who were told they had no choice, from people who just wanted to improve their lives, from a system that's supposed to help society advance. Follow the money. Someone's benefiting from this system. It's not the students. There's talk of student loan forgiveness. People have strong opinions. Why should taxpayers pay for someone's choice? Fair question. But taxpayers paid for bank bailouts in 2008. We paid for corporate subsidies. We pay for plenty of things. The question isn't whether we bail people out. We do. The question is who deserves it. Bankers who caused a financial crisis, or kids who were told this was their only path to success? Remember that 22-year-old who walked across the stage? Here's what happened to them. Some buckled under the pressure, defaulted, had their wages garnished, and spent a decade digging out. Some worked 3 jobs, sacrificed their 20s, and paid it off early, exhausted but debt-free. And some, a very few, went a different route entirely. They skipped the trap, learned differently, and started their careers without the weight. The system is broken. Acknowledging that doesn't mean you're lazy or entitled or looking for handouts. It means you're paying attention. College was affordable when your parents went. It's not anymore. The rules changed, the costs exploded, but the advice stayed the same. That's not your fault. What you do with this information, that's on you. You have options. You always have options. They might not be the options you were told about. They might not be prestigious or traditional or what your parents want, but they exist. Community college, trade schools, certifications, online learning, apprenticeships, starting a business. The path to success isn't a straight line through a 4-year university anymore. Maybe it never was. We just pretended it was. The question you need to ask isn't, should I go to college? The question is, what's my goal, and what's the most efficient path to get there with the least amount of debt? Maybe that's college, maybe it's not. But make that decision with your eyes open, with real numbers, with an understanding of what you're signing up for. Not because everyone else is doing it, not because it's what you're supposed to do, because it makes sense for you specifically, with your goals and your circumstances. We tell 17-year-olds to take on life-altering debt for degrees that might not lead to jobs that can pay it back. Then we're surprised when they're drowning at 30. The surprise isn't that the system is broken. The surprise is that we keep pretending it works. Knowledge is power, but only if you act on it. You now know what most high school students don't: the full picture, the real costs, the alternatives, the lies. What you do with that knowledge? That's up to you. Choose wisely. Your 30-year-old self is depending on it.